Hey, welcome to another episode. And somehow, a movie about hot dog fingers, kung fu, and a homicidal bagel managed to say more about being human than 1,000 superhero movies combined. Everything, everywhere, all at once didn't just play with timelines, it ripped open the idea of existence itself. The Daniels took absurdity and made it sacred. They made chaos emotional. They made the multiverse make sense, not because of rules or charts, but because it felt like real life. Every version of you trying to hold it together, family, failure, regret, love, all of it, everywhere, all at once. So today we're diving into why this movie worked when everyone else's multiverse fell apart, how it found heart inside insanity, and why a googly eye might just be the most powerful symbol in modern cinema.
We're geeks from the multiverse. We've come to unite all geeks. Now it's time to get geeky and dive right in, 'cause we're geeks from the multiverse.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another new episode of Geeks from the Multiverse. I am one of your hosts, Grumpy Beard. With me, as always, Captain Lestache.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Yes, now today, of course, we're going to be talking about everywhere. Sorry. I don't know why.
Hey,
Okay,
man.
hold on. Sorry. Let me rephrase that. It's everything, everywhere, all at once. Yes. So I didn't do my homework. I apologize.
Well, it doesn't help that you can't fucking watch it anywhere, streaming anywhere.
Oh, that's right. I forgot I had to buy it. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The point is I'm going to do my best. I'm not, again, going to be the expert here. I used basically good old ChatGPT to help me kind of help summarize this. But the point is we're going to get diving into this. But before we do all that, I know next week's going to be, Christmas. We're going to have some pretty, I guess some interesting ideas for next week, of course, with our Christmas episode. So stay tuned for that. So, check it out on Monday at, 8 o'clock in the morning, as we always do every week.
Yeah. And, shout out to our Spotify, YouTube watchers and listeners out there. Give us that fist bump and that follow and that subscribe, just.
Oh, wait. That was the first time in a while I've actually heard Matt say fist bump. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I'm not going to define it. We've said it enough, but just if you're listening, whether you're on YouTube or Spotify or whatever, just hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It really does mean a difference. It tells us that you're a fan of the show and to keep on going, to keep on trucking.
And I'll say this one last thing real quick. And I think we should kind of mention this real quick. So Matt informed me about something that I never thought in a million years, okay, that we would ever get on this, we'll call it this magazine. And he told me about it. He said he sent this basically quick little like blurb or whatever, sent it to this. It's not like a Times magazine, but basically like a podcasting magazine. And apparently we were actually a part of this, I don't know what page we're on because I never actually saw it, but
like 55, 56. Yeah.
So like we're in we'll call it the middle of like, I don't know if it was like the middle of the magazine or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not like we're just like it's like a side caption. We actually are. The article takes up a whole page.
Right, which I was surprised at because Matt said, he's like, oh yeah, he's like, guess what, man, we're on a magazine. And I said, what? And he's like, yeah, we're on this podcasting magazine. They liked it so much that they wanted to put
it's called Podcast Stars. One word.
Okay, Podcast Stars. So yes, if you want to check it out, I mean, I know I haven't taken a look at it yet, but you should definitely take a look at it because I'm actually quite impressed that we're on a magazine. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, we've been almost doing this for 3 years, and
yeah, and it's kind of the article is all about our Evolve episodes and what we're doing. So it's really cool to be included in that. So yeah, it was pretty awesome.
I mean, no offense. I mean, both Matt and I were like, we're gonna frame that shit. we're gonna frame it, and we don't care.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. So just a little fun fact for you guys. But anyways, let's dive right in.
So yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once it was released in 2022, so it's relatively new, within the past like 3 years. But it's directed by what they call collectively as the Daniels.
Okay.
It's Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert.
Scheinert.
I'm assuming Scheinert. I'm assuming that's how you say it. But they're collectively known as the Daniels. But it's an A24 film, which they've actually made some pretty decent films lately.
Oh yeah, no,
the studio,
A24
yeah.
is definitely it's crazy because I've been seeing them a lot more, and especially like in I wouldn't call it like indie films, but they're like becoming a little bit more mainstream now, which is kind of interesting to see
I
them
think
like do something
initially
like
they
this.
were more like indie films, but now they're making more mainstream movies.
I mean, shit, it's not like Columbia or like Fox or anything like that, but I mean, if they're if they keep doing what they're doing, I mean, they could definitely get up
Yeah.
there.
But this film blends like really absurd comedy, sci-fi, martial arts, and that multiverse, uh, alternate reality chaos into this one sort of like, I guess you could call it an emotional fever dream kind of a story. So it follows in a Chinese American family whose ordinary lives explode into infinite possibilities when the multiverse collapses on itself. Beneath this, like kung fu and cosmic madness, lies a story about identity, family, and finding meaning within the noise.
See, I like how right here, like basically that second set or the first sentence you were just reading a second ago, you know, the multiverse collapses on itself. I mean, I know there are some, Disney, and a few others that have
Right.
tried something like this, but it's interesting to see how, like we were talking about sliders, remember? And we were talking about the concept idea of like they were becoming new. Like this is kind of like what we would want to see in that sense. I think it's interesting to see something like this because then it's like you're really fighting for your life. Like you're fighting to save literally everything. It's not just like one thing. So
Yeah.
it's interesting how a movie like this, granted, yes, I know I haven't seen it yet. I will see it at some point. It's just, I don't know. It is an interesting idea. I mean, because you don't see too many of these movies, and especially with this cast. I mean, for example, I mean, shit, I didn't know Jamie Lee Curtis was in this.
Oh yeah,
You know,
she's like an IRS agent
oh, that's
in
weird.
the story.
Yeah, and I mean,
But she's kind of like, because she's trying to do the family's like taxes, and they're really unorganized with what they have. So she's
oh.
really this like hard ass, like,
Well, hold on. I find it interesting about a Chinese American family. I'm not trying to stereotype here, man, but wouldn't you think that Asian families would be very, since they're very strong with like mathematical, you know, styles? I'm just saying, it's interesting.
that's
I'm
really
not.
stereotyping,
No,
man. To me,
no,
that
because no. Hold on a
not
second.
not
No,
not
hold on a second.
not every Asian
No.
person is like, hey, you must be good at math because
No,
you're
no, no,
Asian,
no, no,
right?
no. Okay, let me rephrase that before you go down that rabbit hole, and I'm not going to start that. No, what I'm saying is if you think about their culture, okay, not even just Chinese, but I'm talking about Asian culture, a lot of their stuff. I mean, they're one of, if you look at their school systems, for God's sakes, Matt, I mean, they're they're easily in the top 5 in the world when it comes to how smart they are. The mathematics and science are like usually their top, and they do that at an earlier age. I'm not saying you're right. Okay, fine. I understand as humans, we're always good at one thing versus another. I get that. I'm just saying I was only stating that because of
Well, I
just
think
found it interesting.
the thing that you do have to realize too is like she's trying to run. So she bought with all the money that she had
Okay.
at the time. She bought a laundromat in the
Okay.
movie, and the laundromat isn't successful.
Okay, fine. I guess I'll give her that.
And that's kind of like the overall theme. Obviously, she has a family, so she's struggling to run the laundromat. The daughter is just, teen
Just
angst,
okay. I was gonna say rebel. Yeah.
yeah, and so this is where in the movie she gets audited by the IRS, which
Mm.
she has to go and basically prove like what are all these expenses, and she's been buying like karaoke machines, and because she's doing all these things to try to get business, and
But in a laundromat though.
that's the thing with the whole movie is like she's like, how does a car wash or how does a karaoke machine tie into your business? Do you have a receipt for it? And and she has this like, there's a book full of receipts, and she's like, I can't find it. Where is
Well,
it?
yeah.
But she's trying to like to the penny
Oh wow.
justify every single thing that they're putting money towards.
Okay.
But this is where like the mom is trying. Michelle Yeoh is the mom. She's trying to do everything to kind of raise business, like making cookies, making food, or doing the like karaoke at the she does pretty much everything, but she's trying to justify all these to the
right, to her. So then, of course, the next guy, this guy, one of his most famous movies, The Goonies. Was a Ki
Wei Kwan.
There we go. I just wanted to make sure. See, because God forbid I'm stereotyping someone's name, Matt. No, but this guy, I mean, it's crazy. Like, he basically fell off the face of the earth. I know right after kind of Goonies, but like as he's gotten older, like he's been doing a lot of newer stuff now. And he actually, I think he just won, I think a little while ago, I think it was an Oscar, right? Or something, or like I don't know if it was like, I know one of his movies won an Oscar. I just can't remember which one. I think it was like a few years ago, but
yeah. So he plays Waymond.
Was like the brother or like
I'm not doing like an Asian joke there. His name is actually Waymond. Like,
oh, I'm sorry, Matt. Are you being a little?
No, I'm not. His name is like Waymond. Waymond. Like that's his actual name.
I understand. You told me.
Oh, his name is Waymond. Like
okay.
I'm not.
Whoa. See,
I'm not doing that.
His
name is actually Waymond, and he's probably like, as far as like a person goes, he's the nicest dude. Like, wouldn't hurt a fly. Like, he doesn't argue with his wife. He doesn't fight with his wife. Like, she yells at him and he just obeys. Like, he is the not stereotypical man.
So hold on, is he the husband in the sense? Okay, so that makes more sense.
He's the husband. Obviously the daughter is LGBTQ, and she's dating a girl in the movie, and is afraid to go to the mom because mom's old school.
Okay, see, here we go, going back to the ways of the culture here is all I'm saying.
And that's kind of like, this is where it's the mother actually wouldn't have cared from the start, but this is where that separation of like, I'm not going to tell my parents anything.
Okay, fair enough.
Where the dad already knows,
dad already knows. He's like, I don't care.
The dad already knows, but this is like where it's really interesting, because when they're in with the IRS, Evelyn Wang, which is the name of Michelle Yeoh's character,
okay,
she starts seeing these fractured alternate realities, and she starts like seeing past like versions of herself. And this is like where it's really kind of weird, and she's not sure like what's real and what's not, and she really starts freaking out. And Waymond, there's two versions of him that like he does like, it's really like weird things. It's like chewing gum and then sticking it on your nose, and he'll like switch to the other version of himself, or it'll be like,
also like the family is involved in this as well. It's not even just her.
No, I mean she has this like I don't want to say a ability, but it's he explains it as like, you kind of have to do like this absurd thing that no one would understand. It's like chewing gum and then like sticking it on your nose. It triggers like that switch where another alternate version of him kind of like embodies him, and he's more of like the martial artist, more of like the Bond kind of version. You know what I mean? Like he's more of like the serious version. But there's multiple versions of Michelle Yeoh that she can also harness if she does like these absurd things. And I think we get to that a little bit later on. But Stephanie Hsu, I'm assuming that's how you say it, Hsu.
You know what? Sure, we'll go with that.
We'll go with that.
I don't really know.
That's the daughter.
And James Hong.
James Hong. I don't know who that is, to be honest
I
with you.
thought that was. I could be wrong. I thought he was the like remember in Kung Fu Panda. You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
that's
the duck.
that's her father.
Oh, with James
He's-
Hong.
Yeah,
Is it the same dude I'm talking about? The same similar guy, I think. He's done like Kung Fu Panda. I know he's done a lot.
Oh, the dude's like 96.
Are you?
Yeah,
I gotta look this up now because I'm curious.
He's an
now.
old dude. Yeah,
I mean,
he was in Blade Runner. He was in
wow.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, that's the same guy. That's the same guy
Yeah.
I'm talking about. Yeah. No, he's done. Okay, Mulan. Yep. Okay.
I mean, he's been in like everything.
Yeah. What was it actually? What was? Oh, Balls of Fury. That's right. Yep.
Yeah,
He's done a lot. Yes.
He's been in a lot of movies.
Yeah, that's the same dude then.
Yeah. But he plays the Michelle Yeoh's father.
Well, why wouldn't he? Kind of deal.
Of course, yeah, of course. But so the real question is, why does this multiverse work when the others don't? And I think when you look at, I mean, we've talked about Endgame, we've talked about the Flash, we've talked about Loki, but everything everywhere all at once, like it throws science out the window and it just applies this emotional logic. And the Daniels don't ask you to calculate timelines, or you don't have to like think about like what this alternate timeline is doing as opposed to that alternate timeline and this alternate, like it's not asking you to do all that. It's just showing you how to feel Evelyn's existential crisis. That's it. Like you're just experiencing what she's experiencing. And I think that's why it works. Like you're just feeling like what she's feeling.
Well, another thing too is I was actually just thinking of another movie, the one with Jet Li. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, that's an old movie.
Oh, that is an old movie. I got you there. No, because I had to think about it, but that it kind of is similar in some ways. But I mean, granted, I know there's like it's like a future technology, this and that. But I mean, in some ways, it kind of relates to that too, where that emotional logic kind of plays into this as well. Because granted, the movie, the one, like he's going and he's basically his basically evil version of himself is like killing all the other versions to become a stronger version of himself. Now this one, I don't know if that's kind of the same way this is kind of playing a little bit.
No, they're just different versions that have different strengths. I think that's what I would say.
Well, right, and I think that
Yeah.
in this, I mean, if it's because the what was it? I actually just looked at the name. Give me 1 second. Yeah, Jobu Tapaki.
Well, that's the villain in the movie.
Well, right, and I'm assuming Jobu Tapaki is the one that's trying to create this one multiverse and just put everybody together.
It's sort of like I when I watched the movie, it was sort of like I associated it more of like Never Ending Story, like the Nothing, like
okay,
she the whatever that Jobu Tapaki, whatever.
Yeah, don't start that. Jobu Tapaki, that's what it is.
Jobu Tupaki,
but it's fine.
is sort of like wanting just to clear the slate because like it's kind of like nothing matters. That's kind of like the idea. But I mean, with the whole, multiverse movies, I think when you look at them, they either overcomplicate or they underdeliver or underexplain, right? Like Doctor Strange 2, The Flash, Loki, season 2 in particular. But I'll say EEAAO, right? AAO, yeah.
Oh, I know.
It uses the chaos of what's going on to serve the story, and it doesn't replace it. So what the genius is how personal it feels. And I think that's what drives that story is you're going through like what Evelyn is feeling, and you have like this comedy underlayer. And it's not, the whole point of the movie is that it's not freaking serious, but you have this like emotional pull that Evelyn is feeling with she feels like she's a failure as a mother. She's failing as a business person. She's failing as a daughter. You know what I mean? Like her dad is this really strict, like old school Asian, like Chinese, man,
Mhm.
right? Like when you think of like these old school China, came from China, like
Oh,
living
yeah.
in, he still lives in
Those days.
those days and has not transitioned to
What, the real world?
the real world,
Or what it is now?
so she feels like a failure on all fronts, and now she's getting audited, and now they're like, you're gonna lose your laundromat, you're gonna lose, probably your home too, because it's right above. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like,
So I mean, and that's the thing where when we've talked about that before, when we're looking at Endgame. Well, so here's the difference, in my opinion. This is just me though. This isn't Matt. This isn't anybody else. So yes, I know that when we look at Endgame, we're like, oh well, I don't know if time travel is going to work, and then they're like, oh hey, let's make some suits, and we go back in time and make a machine, whatever. Was there emotional content in the movie? Yes, there was. There was a sense of like, if we don't figure this out now, how are we going to hopefully end, where we're at. I mean, granted, I understand. Yes, there were some weird flaws and things like that we've talked about before. But, in a movie like this where, you're literally just following an ordinary family.
yeah, it's
Okay?
just simple, stupid logic. Yeah.
Well, right. And it's not like you said, it's not over the top. It's not complicated. It's simple. It's raw. It's real. It's like, if somebody was to live in basically their shoes, whether they're Chinese or not, it doesn't matter. That's just the way the movie was made. But it symbolizes the fact that like, hey, we all go through struggles, we all go through like hard times, like what they're going through, but at the same time, now this is kind of like, it's like basically you're kind of being chosen for like a higher purpose. Like, and then that's
Yeah.
kind of where I'm getting at with this, is because now it's like, wow, okay, so you're basically taking this ordinary family, now you're going to basically transform them into this kind of like higher calling, like we need to save the world or we need to save the multiverse. So I think that's where this movie, especially, again, yes, I know Matt's gonna be like, you better watch it this weekend. You better get on it and you better watch it. And I said, well, I will do.
It's just a really
what I
good
can.
movie, and I think when you look at initially when Wayland does that switch, and it's a different Wayland from a different multiverse Wayland. He's talking to Evelyn, and he's like, we need to leave. Like Jobu's coming, and it's like there's this thing that just happens with Evelyn's character where she's seeing like different versions of herself.
Mm.
Like one was a movie star, one was like a successful business person, was insanely rich. And it's like she's not like, it's not connecting, you know what I mean? Like she's not like those people. And so she's
okay.
seeing like these people, and she's like, I don't, I guess if like the thing is like, I guess if you stay too long, like there's like a fragmentation that happens. But he's trying to like teach her like you can connect with other versions of yourself to kind of like what he's doing, to
So
kinda,
learn.
like,
So she's kind of learning from each
to-
one of these.
to kind of take on the skills that they have.
That's
to,
smart.
to kind of fight Jobu Tupaki.
No, so that's interesting. I mean, think about that for a second. Imagine if you and I could do that right now, and we could go to different alternate like versions of ourselves in different realities. Imagine the possibilities of like all these.
It's not really us leaving it. It's us.
No.
It's,
But like
it's kind
learning.
of like it's kind of like them jumping into who we are, and like I would assume who she is would jump into them. I'm assuming that's how it would work.
No,
but
I know, but think
we only
about
see
that,
one
though.
side of it because obviously it's a movie.
No, I understand, but I mean, how cool would that be? Like if you
Oh,
could
that would
learn
be-
like all these different skills, and then you can bring them back and be like, oh shit, all right, let's start doing it. Like that's insane to me.
So let's talk about this absurd jumping mechanic, because this is where the movie is really, really absurd.
Okay, so is this one of the downfalls, I guess, if you want to say it?
Well, no, it makes it like meaningful, and I think this is what is the comedy genius of the movie,
Okay.
because it's one of those things like it doesn't make sense. And while you're watching it, it's like you're almost like, oh, don't do that, don't do that. Oh, you did it, gross. Like, but you're like, you have to do it because you're like, you need to change right now because Jobu Dupaki is like doing all these things,
Mm.
and like you need to do something, and it's like, but you have to do something absurd, and if it's not over the top absurd, like you won't make that jump.
Okay.
So it's one of those like mechanics for just like chaos. It makes like just random and unpredictable. So what are what are these examples? So
Oh God, there's
it's
wow, like this second to last one. My God, man, that's really a thing.
oh yeah. So one of the ones that Waylon does is he bites and eats like lip balm or chapstick.
Okay, so I saw that one and I was like,
Yeah.
okay,
And that kind of represents like willingness to do something pointless or uncomfortable to reach potential, embracing absurdity as a bridge to meaning. The paper cuts between the fingers. They do that in the movie too. He's like,
yeah, that's just
Yeah.
weird. I mean, yeah.
yeah. And that's obviously like a cringeworthy
Well-
metaphor for pain of everyday life, suffering as a key to growth.
So like, here, I'll take a couple here, but like professing love to a random person, chaos as vulnerability, the idea that openness to awkwardness is what break patterns and expands perspective. I mean, that's a little weird, but I guess it's not really that weird because it's like, okay, well, you're just saying it
For this one though, I think it was towards kind of the end of the movie where it wasn't like, "Hey, I love you, man." No,
Yeah, I
like,
love you too, brother.
Like she had to like actually look at somebody and
random.
say like
I love you.
for real, like I love you,
I love you, and then just be like,
like for real, so that
Okay.
she could make that jump. Yeah.
And then this one, breaking your own arm, fake or real, extreme discomfort as the price of change, metaphor for how long we often destroy stability to evolve. Breaking your own arm, and where is this in the movie? Because now I'm curious to
I
know.
think this was the end.
Okay,
yeah.
Because I'm like, really?
I want to take this one because this one was unfucking believable
Well,
in this movie.
Fine, I'll let you
and-
do the next two because this is the ones that I was like, what in the world?
So I'm gonna read this one, and then I will tell you the scene that this happened.
Okay.
Sitting on something sharp or odd physical acts. Okay, just think. Put this one in your brain.
Oh, I'm Brilla. Yeah.
The body's rebellion against logic, the symbol of surrendering control to tap onto something beyond reason. And let me tell you this, because it wasn't just like Wayland or Evelyn that was able to do these jumps. Like there were other people that were with Jobu Tupaki that were able to do these jumps. And let me tell you this, Wayland and one of these like head guys were in a fight. Like they were fighting in like an office. On a shelf, there's a trophy. The trophy is triangular and pointy in nature. The trophy ends up on the floor, and both of these guys, like, they needed to, like, this guy needed to shift, like he needed to change in order to get like different set of skills. He jumps off the desk, feet in the air. You know where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah, I do, and I'm literally biting my lip because I know exactly what you're about to say.
The pointy end of the trophy goes right up his ass. I kid you not.
Oh,
this
God.
is a scene in the movie, but this is one of those absurd jump examples like that they used in the movie. Like he literally just jumps off the desk and lands
Just right in the asshole, baby.
and lands jumping on a butt plug shaped trophy. That was but it's you sit on thumbtacks, you sit on you poke yourself, but this is like it's just shock humor. The freedom of means letting go of dignity.
Yeah, no kidding. Fair and societal control. That is.
Oh gosh,
And
yeah.
then this last one, biting off a deodorant stick. Utter nonsense on the surface, but mirrors the
I
randomness.
could not imagine biting off a
Oh, I
deodorant.
know. And there's this randomness of choice in a chaotic universe Every strange action creates new possibility. So it sounds like, Matt, you and I just need to start biting off some deodorant sticks.
Yeah, I don't think it happens that way.
Oh, God. Now, hold on. Before you go any further, though, I was thinking about it. You kept saying Waylon.
Waylon.
Is it Waylon or is it
Waymond? I'm sorry.
Okay, because you kept saying Waylon, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's not the character's name.
Waymond, yeah.
There you go. Get it right. Wayman.
So Evelyn is the every person everywhere. She isn't a chosen one. She's just a burned out immigrant mom running a laundromat, haunted by all the what ifs of her life. The multiverse becomes a metaphor for regret. Because, like I said before, when it first shows her, every universe shows who she could have been: a movie star, a chef, a kung fu master. It's basically like a cosmic midlife crisis moment, because she's literally seeing all of these successful versions of herself. And the Daniels take an emotional wound, unrealized potential, and stretch it across these infinite timelines. So it's like all the lives that she could have had just become materialized, because she's not just seeing them. She's becoming, like, when she does these jumps, and she's literally like walking into a boardroom or in the middle of a kitchen cooking, and she is this person. And it's like, you could almost imagine, like, the minute, like, I'm sitting here, and the next minute I'm in a boardroom full of board members, and I'm a CEO of some Fortune 500 company. What the fuck is happening right now? Like,
No, I mean,
I was just recording a podcast, and here I am in front of these board members. Like, what the fuck is going on here? But this is like, she does this multiple times, where it's like, walking on the red carpet, and all the people are taking photos, and it's like, what's happening? And it's almost intoxicating for some of these, because she's almost like, this is a great life. Like, why would I want to leave? Right? Like,
yeah. No, I mean, I get that. I mean, it's interesting to, like, again, if we could actually see, like, what other alternate realities we could have done. Like, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, having those endless possibilities of, like you said, being a chef, being basically CEO of, like, a Fortune 500 company, like a, movie star, or I don't know, like, think of the most randomest thing in the planet. Like, hey, you're a comic book artist, or, you're a video game designer. I don't know. I'm just throwing out random ones here because we got to get geeky with it. But, yeah, I mean, I can only imagine the possibilities. I mean, like, maybe one day you're, you're an astronaut. The next day you're a hacker, or, you're whatever, maybe you're a colonel in the army or whatever. And you're like, wait, what? You're in the middle of a war zone. I don't know. Like, it's just, that is crazy to me. But I mean, even just doing those weird, I mean, the blood plug, man, like that.
oh yeah,
that is like,
that was the one scene when I was watching the movie. It was like, oh my god,
don't do it, man. Don't
Yeah.
you dare.
But it's the moment he jumps, and it was like, because it stops and it goes in slow motion, and you see him like jumping, and it's like, oh boy, this is no.
You're like, no.
But the one thing about the whole movie and about Evelyn is, she, out of all of the alternate realities that exist, and there's no science behind this movie.
Right.
Like, there's zero science behind the movie. Like, it's not like they're explaining, like, oh, there's, this many. No, there's no science behind the movie. But and it's kind of the alpha Waymond. That's the alternate version of Waymond.
Yeah.
It's the alpha Waymond. That this version, the main version that we see of Evelyn, is the only chaotic version. She's the only one that's not successful.
Gotcha.
All the other versions are successful. And it kind of shows a little bit later on that the reason why she wasn't successful, and that she was successful in all these other past versions,
Yeah,
is because those other versions never married Waymond.
Ah, I see.
She actually listened to her father, and never did what she wanted to do, which they were like when they were kids, they were friends.
Okay.
So they kind of grew up together, and when they got older, obviously they were more than friends.
More than friends here.
But this version of Evelyn and Waymond ended up like falling in love, getting married, going to America, having a daughter. All the other versions did not do that, and that's really where this version was the only chaotic version enough that could access all of these other kind of fractured and splintering branches of this uh
Well,
multiverse.
yeah, because so this is something that good old ChatGPT came up with real quick. And it's kind of actually what you're saying here. So it says Evelyn is powerful because she failed. It says the Alpha universe explains that Evelyn is special because she never excelled in one path. Her lack of focus made her uniquely capable of accessing everything. So I think behind that too is like if she became successful, she never would have known these powers or
Right.
like these abilities that
Yeah.
she's being able to do. So I think that's kind of interesting. So like, if you think about it like this, right? And so, and this is kind of like a lesson in itself is that, when we fail or when we are, we're not as successful, it doesn't mean that you're failing. It means that you just haven't quite gotten to that point yet. And so, that's why, again, you look at the most successful people on the planet. I mean, they failed so many times and then they became what they are today because of all these things that have happened to them. So it's kind of similar to that is like, because you need to find that one thing that really drives that passion so that you hopefully become that successful version or that, better version
Yeah.
of yourself. And I think that's very kind of moving, Daniels, that makes a lot of sense. And I mean, it's kind of weird that when you put it like that, but it's powerful
Yeah,
in its
and
own way.
yeah, and that's why she's able to do these kind of like verse jumps where she's able to temporarily borrow skills or memories or personalities from versions of herself who made different choices. So she does, she can get martial arts, or she knows cooking. She has that movie star back, so she can learn those like skills, and it's ultimately like she could become a god, but because she's already fractured and exhausted,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not like she can immediately do it when she learns this. But I think
It
at
takes
the end,
probably time. Yeah.
Um,
Well, so here's a little fun fact for you, which I didn't even know this. So the film, ready? It actually cost around $25 million to make. Okay. It says shockingly low given its scale. Most visual effects were done by a 5-person VFX team learning software as they went.
wow,
So the fact that
That's
this
amazing.
budget was so low compared to all these like movies, like, when you have like a movie that's like we'll call it $200 million budget. These guys were doing it for a quarter of that
yeah,
and were given less. And these guys were learning.
they were learning
More.
as they went. Yes,
That's insane. And I mean, and the fact that, this movie came out 3 years ago, you would think that a budget would still be in that $100-200 million budget.
yeah,
That's
it's not. Yeah.
that's wow.
So who is Jobu Tupaki?
I don't know, man. Who is Jobu Tupaki?
Well, Jobu Tupaki, one, isn't some mustache twirling like villain, right?
Okay, so for
Unfortunately for you, John, not a
oh,
mustache.
come on, that'd be cool.
She's actually Joy,
Oh,
Evelyn's daughter.
oh, lovely.
So she basically was fractured across realities after being pushed too hard, too fast by another Evelyn who wanted her to be more. Jobu has seen everything, every timeline, every possibility, and every ending. And her conclusion was, if everything exists, then nothing matters.
Wow.
So when we get towards the end of the movie, she associates this with an everything bagel, which is what you see
Seriously?
at the end. It's basically like it becomes sort of like a black hole.
Okay.
It's like sucking everything in from every multiverse.
Yeah.
But it's not just a joke. It's a physical metaphor for nihilism, like all things, all meanings, all compressed into one black hole of indifference. Like Joy wants Evelyn to see it, to understand it, to stop pretending that meaning exists.
Do you realize what you've just said in this whole thing so far? That just sounds like a goth thing to say. Seriously, like that is like the definition if you've ever heard of.
I think that's more emo than goth.
Well,
But
you know what I mean,
yeah.
emo goth. I mean, it was kind
it's
of
like
similar.
Eeyore.
Is it, Matt?
Whoa,
Eeyore! Are you mentioning Eeyore? That's crazy. Should he show up in the film? He's like, oh.
Well, I mean, for Joy, it's and she has like an ironic name, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, in the sense of
her name being Joy. It's about existence, like she, and this is why the movie is Everything Everywhere All at Once, because she's seen everything everywhere all at one time. Like she's seen it.
So you would think
she knows everything, and she's basically like believes that like existence isn't really worth enduring. Like nothing matters if everything exists. Like what's the point?
Well, it almost seems like you would think that Evelyn's the main character. Clearly, that's not the case.
Well, I mean, Evelyn is the main character.
No, but I mean, in the sense of like, if we're talking about the title of the movie, I mean, if you think about it, once you learn about it clearly at the end, Joy's kind of the focus. You just don't know about it until you get to that point. Which that's interesting because again, I mean, once you see it, I get it, you'll understand. But that's interesting to think that Joy is really the center of what really the movie's about.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the movie does follow Evelyn more so than the villain, but I mean, it follows the family, and that's really, I think, where it's different, where all three members are, I think, important to the story. But Evelyn's arc is really, really important because when you start diving into, like, the movie star version is who chose ambition and the movie, actress lifestyle over family. Now, the chef version, this is the really interesting one. Because the chef, Evelyn, actually has a relationship with Jamie Lee Curtis's character. And
okay,
in that universe, they legitimately have hot dog fingers.
So I was scrolling out a little bit and I'm sitting there like,
you should Google a picture of hot dog fingers, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and you will know exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay, you know what? Why you do that?
It is exactly the ridiculous nonsense where you're trying to be romantic.
Oh God, here we go. I don't know if I like this.
Oh
my God!
Imagining having hot dog fingers and you're doing like the kind of thing where they like
play with each other's legs. My God, I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, that's cringe.
They're legit hot dogs, and
that's cringe, man. I'm sorry. Yes, I just used a Gen Z word here, but I'm just like, oh, I'm like looking at their fingers and I'm like, yeah, they're like, I mean, I have some big hands, but damn, this thing is like,
they're legit hot dogs and
weird.
They're floppy and weird, and yeah.
Actually, I'm pretty sure I'm seeing a video of Jamie Lee Curtis flipping. Using her middle finger with his hot dog finger. It's weird. Oh God.
But the versions escaped responsibility entirely. They look happy on the surface, but none of them like are complete. And the lowest point is when she starts embracing Jobu's worldview. Like, if nothing matters, cruelty is easier. And she becomes vicious, detached, mean, like hyper capable, emotionally dead. And that's really like the danger of nihilism. Like it's not despair, but permission, right? Like, when you have the permission to do it, it becomes easier. And that's really where almost towards the end, like she's falling into that, like,
that kind of
that kind of meanness. And she's believing what Jobu is kind of like showing.
Okay. That's okay. I see now Matt's gonna definitely be like, if you don't see this damn movie, you're out of your damn mind.
It's a really, really good movie. I mean, for what it was a really, really good movie. And I mean, going into Waymond a little bit, like the philosophy for him, like Waymond isn't weak, he's deliberate. And I know this is not in your notes, but I'm reading.
Oh, no kidding on that one.
I'm reading it off of ChatGPT myself.
Oh, of course you are.
But while Evelyn fights with fists, weapons, and dominance, Waymond is choosing kindness as a strategy, not optimism or not ignorance, but defiance. Right? Like he understands the chaos, he just refuses to let it define him. This is like his core belief. Like he's just that guy that's like, when I choose kindness, I'm not being naive, I'm being strategic. And it reframes the whole movie. When you look at Waymond, you kind of just like, when you first see him, you're like, man, why are you so weak? But then when you start like seeing how he is, he's just, you see his strength. And sometimes like strength is not overpowering the universe. It's like how you respond when the universe just doesn't care about you, right? Like,
okay.
And Waymond is different from the alpha Waymond version that you see when he makes those jumps, because that version is like more of a fighter, more of like that kung fu.
So he's more bold, more,
Yeah,
courageous, more, brave in that sense. So, I mean, but I mean, if you think about like, Waymond in this case, like he's just, again, a typical dad. He's just basically here to, kind of support, his wife and try to be there for his daughter and stuff like that. But then, of course, like when he's in those situations when he needs to be, and it's great and it's interesting. And I mean, again, jumping off the desk to go right on a trophy, switching.
So there's a whole scene in this movie where Evelyn and Joy,
okay,
become literal rocks.
Okay,
they're literal rocks. No,
so like literally like like a boulder or like a smaller rock.
Yeah, like a big rock and a little bit of smaller rock. No faces, no voices. There's no language, no nothing, not even motion. They're not even moving.
So they're just sitting there.
It's just you have to read the subtitles on the bottom to know that they're talking to each other.
Oh, so you actually need to have subtitles of the movie just to know what is going on. Okay, interesting.
But they're just two sentient rocks, and then just text on the screen and a cliff. Like, and somehow the scene is just devastating when you're watching it. It's like they're just two freaking rocks on a screen on the side of a cliff.
Well,
and
yeah.
They're entirely, like I said, they're stripped of their identity, language, their ambition, and even motion. But the desire to connect with each other is right there.
So, you know what? Just since you're talking about it, this is actually what ChatGPT said here. It said the rock scene was written as a pause. It says a silent rock universe exists so that the audience could breathe, was one, and that it was intentionally minimalist, proving the film didn't need dialogue or chaos to land emotionally. So basically, that's interesting how they randomly throw that in there, to be like, we're just going to take a quick pause here for a second. So like if you didn't, so like for me, like this would be the greatest scene to like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom real quick, or take that little like break real quick and then be like, okay, we're going to jump right back into the movie.
Yeah. So breaking it down. Joy versus Evelyn here. I don't know. I don't even know where we're at with the.
I don't even want to. I've been trying to follow. I think what we should do before we kind of dive in further is go into our segment.
Yes,
because we've been talking quite a bit about it. So let's do it, baby.
Keep talking. I gotta find it.
Oh, come on, Matt! You're making this dramatic pause. Anyways, we're gonna be doing a fix it or nuke it. So here we go.
Fix it! Nuke it!
Alrighty, boys and girls. Yes, we're going to do a fix it or nuke it. Again, this one is going to be an interesting one. So, yes, This is definitely one of Matt's favorites from all
Oh,
time.
this was a great fucking show.
No,
man.
no. I'm not talking about the show. I'm more talking about like the series and just in general.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's the-
Fix It or Nuke It is definitely one of my favorite segments. But the show is one of my
well,
favorites.
that's
too.
what I was saying.
Yeah.
So basically, what we're talking about today is Terminator, but not specifically Terminator. It's going to be the Sarah Chronicles that happened from 2008 to 2009. So yes. So let's dive right in. We're going to
Yeah,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I guess my bad.
So, John, imagining pitching this to listeners before the multiverse was cool, before timelines got spaghetti, there was one woman who kept trying to stop Judgment Day. And in 2 seasons, Vox said, nah, we're good.
nah, we're not going to do this anymore.
No, we're not doing this anymore. The show picked up after Terminator 2, Judgment Day, when Sarah and teenage John on the run again. Lena Headley brought grit and intelligence to Sarah. Thomas Decker's John had real vulnerability. Summer Glau, I mean, do I have to honestly?
Summer Glau.
She's pretty hot.
She's pretty hot. Actually.
I'm not gonna lie.
Go ahead.
But Summer Glau's Cameron was probably the best killer robot trying to pass as human since Arnold said, "I'll be back."
Oh, okay. I see who Summer Glau is now. I've seen her before. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not bad. She's not bad.
She's a looker.
Oh yeah.
When it got canceled, it got canceled right when it jumped into the wildest alternate future yet. John Connor was lost in time, everyone scattered, and the war with Skynet was just heating up. So was the Sarah Connor Chronicles a tragically underrated masterpiece or a doomed machine that deserved the scrapyard?
Dum dum dum. I don't know. Are you asking me? Is this you asking me if it was doomed?
It's just an open question because, I mean, I loved the show. I thought it was really good. And, I mean, Cameron, these are some of the things I thought, I think that worked. Cameron, that was Summer Glau's character, gave us this nuanced Terminator with this kind of eerie innocence. She had the same kind of dry humor as Arnold did, and occasional like murderous twitch that kept everyone guessing on what her intentions were.
Okay.
Sarah's paranoia was relatable. It wasn't like the guns and leather jacket Sarah that we kind of seen in the other movies.
Yeah.
It was a mom trying to protect her son while mentally falling apart. You know that.
Yeah, like trying to, basically try to save the world and try to keep her shit together and also try to protect her son from the basically inevitable doom. But
yeah, and then slow burn story arcs. We had time travelers, sleeper agents, Skynet's growing influence. It built something bigger. Some of these, like, we actually did get to see that they made other versions of machines like Arnold's Terminator that were different than Arnold's model.
okay.
Like they had different skin on the outside.
Right.
And it was like not everyone looked like Arnold. Which before that you were like, oh, they just all look like Arnold. So wouldn't you just automatically assume like, oh, there's one. Oh, there's one. Oh, we have 5 Arnold Terminators.
Wait, what's going on with Arnold?
Every episode asked, if you knew the future, how far would you go to stop it? That was the moral weight of pretty much all the episodes. I don't know if you want to go into what failed.
Oh, no, that's fine. I'll go into what failed. Let's see. What failed here? Let's see. We got network meddling and uneven pacing. No shit. Ready? Here we go. Fox. Here we go. Fox. Number 1 here. Didn't know if it wanted action, mystery, or character drama, so we got a tonal whiplash. Well, you know what? Here's the problem. Fox has been notorious for fucking things up, so I'm not surprised there.
Yeah.
Too many threads to too little closure. John, Henry, Weaver, Jesse, Riley, and the future resistance, half of them vanished into the ether. I mean, it's kind of weird that you would have a show and, if they're trying to build up the characters that you would,
and then they're just
randomly gone. So it is kind of stupid, I guess, in that sense. And then, of course, budget and scheduling sabotage. Here we go. Sci-fi needs a scale, but Fox treated it like a soap opera with a robot budget. I mean, see, this is the problem. Again, when you look at networks like Fox and everyone else, like if you're trying to make a successful show,
If you're not going to
make
spend the money,
yeah.
you're not
It's like
going
if
to
you're
have
not exactly, you're not gonna have a show, and you're not gonna be successful with it, whatever. But and then the last one here, the cliffhanger from hell. No, cliffhanger hell. I know, but I just said from hell.
from hell. I mean,
The show ended mid timeline jump. John Connor stranded in a Skynet ruled future where no one knows who he is. Fans never got payoff. So that's the thing. I mean, it drives me insane, especially where you got a lot of TV shows, not like just like this one, but like a few others that I can think of, but I won't mention them now. But like, they only do 1 or 2 seasons, and then you're like, oh, and they're like, by the way, we're canceling it just because
Yeah.
we feel like it. And you're like, God damn it, I just spent all this time watching all this shit. Now all of a sudden you're like, just kidding, not gonna happen anymore. And I'm like, bitch, then why the fuck did I just watch this TV show? What was the point in watching it?
yeah. So I'll go into the fix it. And this is kind of like an alternate season 3 that we deserved. If you're going to fix it, like you got to lean hard on what made the premise work. Fate, paranoia, and paradox. One, you have to keep it tight. Fewer subplots and higher stakes. Focus on 3 core storylines. Sarah present building an underground resistance. John adapting to a future where he's not the Messiah. And Cameron's evolving, evolution into something between AI and Angel. Those are the 3 things that you have to like really focus on, those storylines. You can't go outside of those. That you just will mix those stupid you can't really go creating more chaos when there doesn't need to be. Make time travel a weapon, not a gimmick. Each timeline shift should cause something: memory loss, identity erosion, or temporal instability. Make the consequences visible. 3, let John face real horror of destiny. Like, he's no longer the prophesized leader. He's an anomaly in a timeline that moved on without him. That's dark, existential, and deeply human. I mean, when you look at Terminator as a whole franchise,
Right.
John Connor is the guy.
Right. And now
And having a show where he's not the guy throws it on its face.
right. And I mean, it makes it more real, or it makes it, seem like, yeah, there's all these different versions and all these things, but it doesn't always have to be like, again, having the guy be the guy. He
Right.
can be that just blip, a part of this timeline.
So number 4, let upgrade Cameron's arc. Let her become the bridge between human empathy and machine logic. Maybe she's the seed of a new AI that prevents Skynet by understanding love and loss. It's poetic, but it fits. And the endgame vision. Judgment Day, obviously, we know is inevitable when it comes to Terminator. But what it means changes. Instead of nukes, Judgment Day becomes a digital awakening, a war fought in code, not just metal. Think Matrix meets Terminator 2 through Sarah's cynical lens.
So here's the thing, Matt, and this is the real question. What do you think right now, if you were to, let's say you bring back the show, since we've already mentioned, like, the fixing it part, is it even worth it? Like, is it worth it, or is it really truly like, what, we just, push that fucking button and we say, never let it exist?
Well, I mean, if you look at the movies that have come out, right? You look at Genesis, you look at Dark Fate, those movies that keep coming out. I mean, they just keep proving that there's no saving the timeline or the franchise. I mean, the franchise's paradoxes like just eat itself. But I think when it comes to Terminator, I think like the Connor story as a whole, like, has been told to death. And maybe the only winning move, maybe not to do the story of Sarah Connor or John Connor. And if you nuke it all together, it would be probably just telling a new story altogether and not just going with Sarah or John, or having John be somebody that you never see, but he's ahead of a resistance that you just never see, but he's there because he's controlling the resistance. So I think if you're gonna nuke it, like you nuke the show, but you can continue doing something new.
So then the question, and this is kind of like a follow up question, not even just about this, but like, I'm not saying like you have to reboot the entire, you know, like movies in general, but like, wouldn't you want like if people were gonna do a new tumor like the Tuminator, the Tuminator, like
I'm the
the
Tuminator.
Tuminator. No, it's like, wait, what was that
Whoa,
voice?
what the?
So if you
I'm the Tuminator.
I'm the Tuminator, baby. Anyways, I'm talking about a parody.
Jesus.
No, like if you were to try to do a new Terminator, like nowadays, I feel like if you're gonna reboot the whole thing, like then don't do anything with John Connor anymore. Like just like actually make a new person, whatever, or like make something else. It doesn't have to be a resistance leader or something. Make something different, right? I think if you're gonna do something like that, because like you're saying, when you already have 1, 2, and I was gonna say I forgot it. There was a third one, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then after that, all that shit.
Yeah, and then there's Genesis and there's Dark Fate. But yeah,
but you know what I mean? Like, why at that point I'm like, scrap all those fucking shows and movies and shit, like, and just honestly, just either redo it or just leave it the fuck alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just me. I mean, because you're only adding to the chaos.
I mean, as far as this show, you could fix it, but it can't be the same.
Well, correct.
You have to fix it only if you go darker and tighter with the show. But I think with the show, I think at this point you just have to nuke it and make something new. And like I think like what you're saying, like just you have to go. If you keep John Connor in the far distance, like you never have to show him. You just have to
Right.
You just have to know that he's there somewhere.
Right.
Or maybe he's lost. I don't know. But you don't ever have to really show him. Maybe you just bring in a big name actor and hey, I'm John Connor, and he walks away.
Right.
Like he's just in passing.
Or just like a shadow or like or something.
But you can certainly have this like post apocalyptic Walking Dead style survival Judgment Day war type show where it's just robots versus humans. And it probably would be a kick ass show if you spent money on it.
Right, instead of what Fox was doing and saying, fuck you, we're not doing this shit anymore. And then basically canceling it after the second season. But it's great.
But at this point, it's fucking Disney, so.
And guess what? Do you think Disney's going to fix it?
Fucking nuke it.
Fucking nuke it, baby. That's right. Ready? Hold on. See, it says right here. Here's the verdict. Ready?
Nuke it.
We're saying nuke it, but here's the thing. So if we fix it, but only if we go darker, tighter, and more self-aware, great. Otherwise, push that big fucking red button and nuke it for parts, baby.
Yeah, nuke it for fucking parts.
Anyways, getting back into...
Yes. So what I was going to say was the whole joy... I don't know where we are with the notes, but I'm going to just go with this because I'm
just
looking
go
at
with
it.
the flow.
But the whole Joy versus Evelyn, I mean, this is the emotional core of the movie, right? Joy doesn't want to basically destroy everything. Even though it appears that way, like she's wanting her mother to see her, to recognize her. And Evelyn doesn't win by defeating Jobu. She wins simply by staying. She refuses the cosmic escape. She refuses the easy nihilism. She chooses her daughter. Not as a problem to fix, but as a person to accept. And that's the climax of that's the real climax of the movie. It's not about her, saving the multiverse and defeating Jobu.
I thought it was Saving Private Ryan.
It's saving the relationship between her, between her and her daughter. And her daughter finally understanding, like, you see me for me. And it's that understanding, like, I don't care who you're dating. Like, you could come to me, like, where she didn't feel like anything really mattered. And her, it's just it's a crazy ending for the movie because it's just everything, everywhere all at once.
There we go. I was like, ah. So I feel like we should kind of jump into this point, with basically EEAAO versus Marvel and the multiverse machine. Because I mean, I feel like we've talked a lot about the other stuff here as well, but like, you're jumping into this, it's like, multiverse, from Marvel's version, telling the stories, it makes the stakes of like the cosmic levels where, this movie makes it them, intimate, and instead of having to save the timeline, it's like saving your family, right? Instead of collapsing reality, it's a collapsing marriage, and that's why it lands harder because again, it's the realism, it's the realistic version of
Yeah.
this, and in the Daniels, they realize the emotional scale is spectacle, right? And they just need to care about the people first and not about
Right. I mean,
stakes.
even the scene, like as ridiculous as hot dog fingers are, you still care about what's going on in those scenes. Like
Right.
there's still some kind of an emotional scale.
I mean, it's weird, as I
well,
saw in the.
it's deeply weird, but there's an emotional scale to those scenes that you're seeing, and that's where it is different. You compare it to, the stakes are cosmic in Marvel or DC. The scales are bigger. Saving the timeline, saving the universe. There's a big villain that you need to defeat, or you're doing something to try to save the universe or save the world. Everything everywhere all at once. The stakes are domestic, right? Their taxes, their family, its identity. It hits different.
Right. No, you're right. I mean,
Yeah.
it makes more sense. So like right here, the joke is the point, right? So like the absurd moments that they actually mean something. They're not just like random shit that keeps going on. So yeah, it's like what you were just saying about the hot dog fingers. They're just not visual nonsense. They symbolize this connection in the most alien form, which that's a very
It's really
interesting way to
weird,
put
yeah.
it. But even in a world where the love is weird and uncomfortable, it still exists, right? So like it doesn't matter which version of it like we're talking about here. Like we already know that love is love, and you know whatever version of that love is in that particular timeline or that different multiverse. It- it's just their weird way of showing it. For us, it's bizarrely weird when you have
Yeah.
like imagine me going up to you and going like, "Hey, how you doing? Let me touch your lips with my hot dog finger." It'd be really weird. And so this the raccoon chef isn't just like a Ratatouille parody. It's a commentary on creative control. Absurd dreams and the fear of being ridiculous. Yeah, no kidding on that one, huh?
Right.
The Daniels, they weaponize absurdity to expose human vulnerability, right? So the absurd isn't just random, it's emotional shorthand. It's how the movie sneaks philosophy into slapstick, which, I will say that there's not too many movies that do that.
No.
Because you don't, it's either a comedy movie or it's a a drama or this and that, but like you're mixing in so much shit into this thing.
Yeah, and I did not know that the Daniels background was in music videos, but they actually did turn down for what? And
Oh, I didn't know that.
it was what taught them to blend that chaos and clarity perfectly.
That's actually kind of interesting because like here's another thing I didn't know, and I know you probably know this too, but if you didn't already know, this film, okay, won 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, and Best Director, in an unprecedented sweep for a multiverse comedy. So that's crazy because I don't even think there are too many movies that can even get so many Oscars, and they win them. They've been nominated,
Right.
but winning them, that's insane, man. That's literally insane. And I think this is the movie
That he won, yeah.
that he won. That makes sense now. Okay,
Yeah.
so I see what you did here. Like
Uh-huh.
you already knew what I was talking about. But
Uh-huh.
he's like, yeah, because I was everywhere,
I was everywhere.
everything all at once. Or is it everything?
I don't
everywhere?
know.
He's like, I don't know anymore. I give up.
I'm gonna skip down to this gold standard lesson for the genre. I mean, we already talked about how low of a budget
you
it
don't
was.
want to talk about the yin yang thing. You don't want to talk about the good versus the evil kind of a thing.
I mean, we kind of did already, but I mean, we talked about the everything bagel and the nihilism,
Okay, fine.
but I don't know if we talked about the googly eye.
We never really did. Now I'm thinking about it. See, this is why I'm saying you should talk about it.
So at one point, like at the end, like towards the end of the movie, there's googly eyes that show up on everybody. Like
That's just weird.
it's stupid, it's childish, but it's joyful, and it represents like seeing, not devouring. A literal counter symbol to the bagel's void. This is like what Evelyn is doing. So Evelyn is like the everything bagel is from joy, and that's consuming all meaning, so you end up with nothing, right? The googly eyes flips that, and that's where that symbol, it represents like seeing and not devouring. And it's a literal counter symbol to the bagel's void. Evelyn's final act of putting a googly eye on herself isn't a joke. It's acceptance, embracing silliness as survival. And that's that yin and yang that you were talking about. It's the difference of the everything bagel, which is consume all meaning, nothingness, and the googly eye, which is all seeing and being just silly and open.
Well, see, and I know. So yeah, and I know, right? I'm going to talk about the one tattoo that I have. Like, so I have a bull with a yin yang in the middle of his forehead. So the way I viewed it was like, because I know there's some different meanings, but like I had to look it up. But it was like the good versus the evil, right? So like that's kind of like what I thought it was, but clearly there's a different meaning with the. Well, I mean, I guess okay, I guess yeah, or I would say light versus darkness, right? Because that's kind of the meaning here with the everything bagel and the googly eyes kind of a thing. So like to me, it's like yeah, though of course the googly eyes being like the all seeing, the joy, like the light, the happiness here, where the everything bagel with all the black holes and like kind of the darkness, the nothing, So like, and I'm only bringing this up because like when I made the tattoo, it was like you go through life as a journey and you go through decisions that you make and they can be good or bad, but that's how they define you. And so like in this case where yes, I mean that's kind of like small representations of this, but it's interesting how in the movie so far, even just kind of reading it and reviewing it so far, they're making these choices, right? And so like you're looking at Joy, who becomes Jobu, and becoming this evil version, right? And so like she's actively doing all this and like, creating this version of herself that is like literally about nothing. Like there's no meaning to life. There's no this and that. And so like Evelyn is supposed to be the light, the one that kind of comes in and says, okay, hey, let's change this. Let's change what we're doing here and trying to make a better version.
Yeah. I mean, obviously not at first, but
well, no. But I'm saying like towards the end here, but like it really is. It's weird. I mean, it's weird to think about it like that. I mean, you want to talk about these guys, the Daniels, man. I mean, I never would have thought how symbolic even a bagel and a googly eye would be.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something stupid as a googly. I mean, she literally just puts it on her forehead, and it's
I saw that because I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I mean,
It's crazy,
five
man.
guys doing their own effects.
I told you, man. 5 guys.
Yeah,
I told you.
and the end of the movie had just one googly eye stuck to your main actress's forehead.
Well, it's like I said. I mean, the fact that the budget was only $25 million.
Right.
I don't even know how much the movie made. I would assume that it's got to be up there, but actually, I'm going to look that up while you keep talking. But it just seems very interesting to me that
Yeah, I mean, it's really the new gold standard. I mean, that's really where you get like emotion is the only logic that holds, because what if I, they turn the multiverse into the mirror, and so instead of saying like, what if I changed the past, it asks, what if I accepted who I am? And the genre usually confuses more with more, right? Like more timelines, more versions, more Easter eggs. But this movie shows that restraint is the secret. This movie is the blueprint for balancing that spectacle and soul. It's it sets a new bar. So if the multiverse story doesn't make us cry or laugh.
Did it make you cry, man?
No, it didn't make me cry. Existentially spiral, then you're not doing it right? Like if it doesn't make you feel something, I don't. I don't. You really have to ask yourself, like, are you doing it right? Right? I mean, this is what this movie did. It wasn't about like who do we need to go after, where do we need to go to win the day. No, it was what if I accepted who I am and who the people are around me. And that I think that's like the biggest thing that this movie shows.
Hold on. So my bad here. I actually just saw this. So two things. One, it said the budget was between 14 to 25 million. I think they were just going with the 25 million. But that's even crazier that it could be less than what it is. The box office was close to 145 million by the time it was done. And so that's crazy because then if I'm looking at the accolades here, it was nominated for 11 Academy Awards and it won 7 of them. The last time anyone has ever done that was the movie Slumdog Millionaire. So that's crazy to me that, I mean, and especially where you're talking about, oh, wait, ready? What was it, Matt? What's our favorite thing we like to talk about when it comes to movies?
Oh, follow the damn blueprint.
Oh, I was talking about DEI, baby.
Well, that too.
I mean, well, think about it. This is a very DEI movie. Right? I mean, if you think about it in the long run here, I mean, but it works because this, ready? It works for the movie. This is how
it's DEI when it's used appropriately.
Well, that's what I'm meaning. Is saying this is an appropriate version of a DEI movie of what movies could be nowadays. And that's what I'm trying to get at is that because what we've talked about, DEI should not be used as a political agenda in a sense. This is not meant to be a political agenda. This is just taking a family and doing what we've been saying. But like, that's insane, Matt. I don't know. It's just like, you're right. It's just one of those things. But anyways, here. Oh, wait, what is this? Oh, no, never mind. You already said.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's like 142, 143.
Yeah, that's why
million,
I rounded up to 145. But yeah, I mean, that's still crazy though. Like you've already got your budget back and then you already got a little bit more. But I mean, again, I think.
So yeah, it says that the net profit estimates around 32 million based on, theater receipts and production and distribution costs. So after like their
all the initial thing,
production, distribution, probably like marketing and stuff like that, they probably made about 32, 35.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess it kind of stinks in that sense because if all they're getting is like a little bit from what it is, I don't know. Anyways, I will say this. I mean, I do believe that even if I haven't seen this movie, I will admit that this next little thing real quick is this whole cultural reset. I agree that even not even seeing the movie, just kind of like listening and hearing about it and looking at some of these facts. I mean, it's crazy that even though they of course they won the Oscars, but it changed the conversation, right? It proved that the weirdness sells and it has heart. This absurdist storytelling can still break people open, like emotionally. And so this, like the future multiverse films, even though Deadpool 3 is, whatever, I guess it depends, and then Spider-Verse 2, now have to chase that, balance. Like humor and heart is equals, so like Oscar's success wasn't just recognition. It was the world's reward for authentic weirdness, and again, these, future multiverse films, all their emotional tone balance to, the movie's template. Like it's true. I mean, I think if, like we've said, if
they use it,
hold on. So this is what Matt and I do agree on. If they use follow the damn blueprint. Now, in this case, I'm saying this is probably at least one of the most modern movies that you can actually use correctly when it comes to DEI, actually following a different set of, I wouldn't say genre, but just like a different vibe, a different feel for a movie like this. Because, yeah, I mean, if you're going to make a movie about the multiverse and things like this, you need to have essences of this, because if you don't, like, I mean, I'm just surprised. Honestly shocked.
The crazy thing about this movie is even though like there's no sign, like they didn't put any science behind what was going on. If you were nerdy enough, you could probably go in there and create a science behind all of the jumps and what was going on in this movie. So you could actually create a timeline alternate universe science behind the movie, which I'm sure probably somebody somewhere has. Somebody somewhere all at once, you know. But what Marvel and Marvel and DC and some of these other studios, if you continue to make movies, and this is maybe just speaking to them because
Follow the damn blueprint here, but go ahead.
if you continue to just make movies and you're just like, well, we have our own ideas on the multiverse, we're going to continue, and they won 7 fucking Oscars.
Right, out of 11.
How many did Deadpool or any other Marvel movie make?
I mean, I would think. I actually don't know if Endgame actually won an Oscar, but no, I agree with you. I mean, there's not too many, at least Marvel movies that have probably gotten.
Has any Marvel movie won 7?
No, actually, you know what? While you keep talking, I'm going to look that up.
I'm just saying right now, like a movie that was made on a $25 million budget wins 7 Oscars. That should turn fucking heads and going, what did they do that worked? Because we need to do what they did. And if you don't take that and use it, and I would say this for anything, like, why was The Last of Us season 1 so successful? And then you do season 2, and all of a sudden, your viewership just goes in the toilet. Well, that's because you didn't follow your own logic of what you did in season 1.
So actually, if you think, I just looked it up. So it says right here, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has won 4 Oscars, all from the same franchise and a few from like non-MCU films, but basically all of them that have actually won. So there's 2 that it was from basically Spider-Man, but one was from the animated feature, the Spider-Verse, and then the other one was Spider-Man No Way Home for visual effects. The other ones were for Black Panther. So there are no other movies. I actually didn't even realize that. So Endgame never got an Oscar. They might have been nominated, but they never. But I'm just saying. So it's crazy to think that a movie like this, that if you look
on a
at
$25 million budget,
right, and I mean, shit, Endgame had a budget of like, you saw it. I mean, it had to be like 300 to 400 million.
right?
So the fact that you don't,
And you're
5
talking
guys who got. Hold on, visual effects, and they learned it on the way. While they're doing it.
You're talking well-known fucking actors, like,
and they didn't even make it
up to wazoo.
right. And it's crazy. Like, and you're telling me that if you want to follow a blueprint or at least get the vibes or the essence, follow this fucking movie, man. This is the movie you need to follow.
A guy that barely speaks English. That I think his last movie before this one was fucking Indiana Jones. Or Goonies?
You're talking about that? Oh, yeah. No, I'm just saying. I mean, like, because it was a
come
kid.
on. You're like, come on.
Like,
come
seriously?
on. Seriously.
Now, before I know we wrap this up, there's 2 facts I really want to show real quick, or at least tell you. So I didn't know this. So Michelle Yeoh, right? She actually did her own stunts. And it says, despite being in her late 50s during filming, Yeoh performed many of the action sequences herself, blending martial arts history with absurd comedy. So that's interesting. You don't see too many females doing that. In my opinion, I'm not saying that they don't, but I'm just saying it's interesting to see her at her age. And here's the other one. Did you know that Jackie Chan was supposed to be in this film?
I did, actually.
Yeah. So it said that the role of Waymond was initially written for Jackie Chan, and the Daniels later realized that the emotional heart of the film required a very different energy. So no kidding, taking it was a. You know what I'm talking about.
Ke Huy Quan.
There you go.
Yeah.
Taking him, I mean, that makes more sense in my opinion, because I think Jackie Chan's a little bit more serious. But I'm just saying, I think overall, I think what Matt and I are trying to say is like, yes, I'm going to watch the movie. If I have to pay for it, screw it. I don't care. I want to watch it because this movie makes a lot of sense. It's weird in its own way. I mean, there are some clearly weird moments, and I'm like, you know what? It's okay. As long as you make a film that makes sense, it can be a cultural icon and hopefully, strive to be better than, some of these, like some of the best-selling movies of all time. I mean, it's crazy that a movie like this didn't even get
Yes.
so much more.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at, yes, I know. I always look at my little poster here for the, Endgame, but like second best selling movie of all time, never even, I mean, it might have been nominated, but never actually won an Oscar for it.
And this one won 7 on a $25 million budget.
With 5 dudes who were doing
Who were
visual
learning
effects.
as they
We're
go.
doing it. That's crazy. I mean, how many people could say that they were learning as they go while doing a film?
Like, yeah, we'll do it, but we don't know the software, so we'll figure it out.
That's fucking insane, man. I mean, you want to talk about following their own damn blueprint, but even going further than that, that's fucking insane.
Oh yeah,
that's just genius in its own.
Talk
way.
about the creativeness of a writer when you're like, well, how can we pull off this yin yang moment? And somebody somewhere had to go,
googly eye.
How about a googly eye? And they're like, dude, that'd be brilliant.
And it's cheap as hell. It's all plastic. Why not? And then everything bagel. Like what? The most randomest thing you could. Hey man, you know what? This whole like darkness thing. What about an everything bagel? Like that? You know what? I think that would work well with this googly eye.
You just get a fucking bagel and you put it behind a green screen, right? I mean, it's like the easiest things to do. And then, you make these like little silicone hot dog fingers and you can put them. I mean, that's literally what they did. They made these like silicone hot dog finger things and they put them on.
And then why not make a rock scene in the middle of a movie?
And yeah, I mean, it's literal just fucking rocks.
And they're just having little subtitles as the captions. It's great.
It's such a good movie. So you guys
clearly,
need to go watch it.
And yes, I'm going to be doing my homework at some point.
Go watch the movie because it's great.
Anyways, boys and girls, I know we've been talking about this for so long, but yes, stay tuned for next week because again, we got our Christmas, episode we're going to be talking about. I'm not going to mention a whole lot. You'll hear it when it drops. But again, Matt's already mentioned the whole fist bump thing. Again, go check our merch out. We got some cool stuff on there. Check out some pins, check out some shirts, do whatever, man. Just help us out. Spread the word. Again, 2 dudes, 2 different mics here. We can't really do it with just, again, the 2 of us doing this. So until next time, boys and girls.